Today, I needed to make 2 loaves with a hard white and Kamut sandwich bread. And y'all, I am so excited about this because Kamut, I use a specific ratio because the hard white is going to give it that big fluffy rise that, makes it like sandwich bread. And then the Kamut adds this beautiful buttery flavor and color to the bread. I mean, it is so delicious. It is my son's favorite. I can't even express how excited I am to show it to you. It's got honey, it's got eggs, it's got everything in it. So I was like, all right, I've got to make 2 loaves, so let's bake together. So let's get into it. Okay, so for this sandwich bread, I have already milled together the hard white and the Kamut. So I milled 4 cups of hard white and then 1 cup of Kamut. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in, I need my little, there's certain tools that you'll see that you love. You'll see why. All right, I use this for a bunch of things. All right, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. What we're going to do is we're going to do like a little autolyse method where we are going to allow the dough to get hydration, but also allow the yeast to activate because I'm not using instant yeast, I'm using active yeast. All right, 2 cups of warm water. It needs to be 110 degrees. You can either, what I like to do, you can set it out for a while, or what I like to do is I like to pop in the microwave for 30 seconds and it's like the perfect temperature. All right, 2 eggs. I went ahead and cracked them because it's just easier to do that on film. And let me get my yeast out of the refrigerator. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get 1 heaping tablespoon of yeast. I mean, if you want to be exact, you can do like a tablespoon and 1/8. And then what we're going to do is we are just going to mix it all together. I know what you're thinking. You're like, Ashley, why aren't you using your hand mixer for this? Because hello, your hand mixer is right there and we're actually going to use it in a second. But the reason why is that I wanted y'all to see the hand mixer was like in the way of my camera. So I wanted you to see what it looks like so that this whole process you can look and see the dough's consistency, because if you pay attention to the dough's consistency, that's when you are going to get a good loaf of bread the way you want it. And I'm just trying to mix in all the do you see that flour in there? I'm trying to get it all to where it's all mixed in, as best as I can, so that there's no dry flour remaining. By the way, I'm just curious. I always put I'm using active yeast. I have this small jar right here, and then I buy it in bulk, and then I just put it in that small jar and keep it in my refrigerator, both the bulk and the small. But I know some people use the freezer. So I was just curious if you use the refrigerator or the freezer. Let me know if you found that, one is better than the other. I've always used the refrigerator and it works for me, but I'm always curious to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I'm always curious to see what others do. Okay, this is nice and incorporated. So what I am going to do right now, I should have gotten my other spatula out, y'all. I deal with 2 spatulas so I can scrape it off. There we go. So that's right off. And then what we're gonna do is move that out of the way. Shabam. And then I love these plastic shower caps. I am going to cover this, and we are going to let this rest for 20 minutes. This is very important, especially if you are dealing with active dry yeast, because this is how the yeast is activated. So don't skip this step. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Ooh, do you see how puffy that dough is? Look how jiggly it is. That's what you want. You can see that the yeast is activated because you can see all the bubbles in there. So perfect. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to add our honey and our oil in here. And by the way, I'll have this recipe linked in the description below for you. I put my oil in first so it helps the honey slide out. It's a little tip for you. And in this recipe, I put in 1/3. However, if you want to go up to 1/2, you can. It just depends on what kind of sweetness your family likes. But this recipe is really good, and you should be able to taste you will be able to taste the sweetness in it. I love it. Okay. The next one is, let's see here. Oh, y'all, This is funny. You're like, oh my gosh, Ashley, why do you have 2 teaspoons? Well, Duck calls 2 teaspoons of salt. But y'all, if I don't do it this way, I will forget. I have forgotten the salt so many times that I'm like, okay, I got to come up with a new strategy to not forget. All right, now we are going to add in, get this out of the way, bam. Now we're going to add in some flour. So the whole recipe calls for about 5.5 to 6.5 cups. I've already got 4 cups in here. So what I'm going to add right now is I'm going to add 1 more cup in here, which makes it 5. Okay, now we're going to put it in the mixer. Okay, I'm going to turn my mixer on. We are going to let this mix. And what we're going to do is we are going to add in the flour a little bit at a time. And what we are going for is we're going for when the flour pulls away from the side of the bowl, which is going to be like, really for me, like 2 more cups. It's looking good. So now I'm going to add in, let's see here, if I can do this one-handed. All right, let me stop the mixer. I'm going to add in, I'm holding the phone with one hand so y'all can see, there's a 1/2 cup. So now we are at 5.5 cups, y'all. And what I like to do is I like to help it by pulling in from the sides. I am so excited for y'all to make this. I mean, you're just gonna love it. I'm serious. This is gonna go in your staples. I have, I say this a lot on my channel, but what I do is I test all my recipes and I test them out with my family. I test them out with friends that I have, and then other people that I know, so that it's not, oh, thank you, Ashley. Like, I'm like, I want to know, like, is it good? Tell me the flavor. Do you like the texture? What's the consistency? You know what I mean? Because I like to get a bunch of people's different opinions. And so that the bread recipes that I have in my stash, I'm like, oh, these are good. These rise really, really well. The flavor's good. The texture's good. I'm working on right now. So this is hard white and Kamut. Let me put in another 1/2 while I'm talking to y'all. This is hard white and Kamut, right? So I'm working on a spelt, which is an ancient grain. So I'm working on a recipe. I'm on my, what am I on? My 4th loaf, and I haven't gotten it quite right. And I'm like, nope. I want it to be like perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on that one. And then when I get that one perfected, I will share that with y'all. I'm excited about that one. Because I don't know about y'all, but with bread, I just love all the different kinds of varieties of grain and, given different options. That looks really good. Okay, you see how it's pulling off the sides? That looks perfect. Okay, so at this point, I'm like, okay, I got the dough consistency that I want. Now we are going to set the timer for 20 minutes, and you're gonna need until you get a window pane. And I'll show you what that looks like. So I'll see you in 20 minutes. Mine has been in my KitchenAid mixer for 20 minutes. So here's the window pane test. Bam, can y'all see that light through it? If you can see the light through it, then that means that you have kneaded long enough and you're ready for the next step. If you don't get the window pane test, go back to kneading. All right, let's get it out of the mixer. This dough is so pretty. You're gonna love it so much, and it's so soft. I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. I love this scraper. See how you can just get the last of the dough out? I love it. I also like the color lime green. Okay. There we go. All right, now you'll need your other one. So that's a plastic scraper. You'll need your other stainless steel one, because this is good to put the dough in half, because I'm making 2 loaves. Now, you can weigh them, you can eyeball them. This is just for my family and a friend of mine. So I'm good with just doing it like this. If you just wanted one loaf and you wanted to make this into rolls, you could also do that as well. You know, so you don't have to do 2 loaves if you don't want to. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shape it. By the way, if in the shaping process it somehow breaks or something, just put a wet towel over it. Just cover it with a towel, not a wet towel, just cover it with a towel and just let it relax and rest for about, 20 minutes. And then you can, try again. And if it's still breaking during this process, like I just showed in the window pane test, that just means that you haven't kneaded long enough. Let me put the camera back so you can see. Okay, so I like to do mine in a rectangle. By the way, I have my cast iron pan. It is all oiled up. I've got 2 of them right here. And I like to do mine with olive oil. You can do it with coconut oil, butter, whatever you want. Okay, so I stretch it and I pull it over. And then I stretch it and I pull it over. So what I want to do is I want to build some tension here. And then I pull it towards me. This is my jelly roll method. I just love it. It's my favorite one. It's fun. Pull it towards me. Pull it towards me. Okay, and then I get the sides and I tuck it over. This doesn't look pretty, so what I like to do is I like to go back and forth to kind of smooth it out. And then I like to pinch it, and then I like to what's called threading the dough, which I just think is fun. This creates even more tension. And then I do it like that, roll it back and forth, and then I'll thread it one more time. And again, this is the bottom part, so it doesn't matter what it looks like on the bottom. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to plop it in here and then take my fist down like that because I want to fill it in as best I can. Once you've got it the way that you want it, I do it with a gentle. I'm not doing it very rough because remember, fresh milled flour has the jam, the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. And because it's got those parts of the whole seed in there, it's got some sharp points in there, so you don't want it to bust. Then I cover this one, and I'm going to cover it for about 30 minutes, all the way up to an hour. So be kind of nearby when you're, going on doing your other things for the day because, depending, my kitchen is, this is what my kitchen is. So it'll probably be about 30 minutes. So I actually will go ahead and preheat my oven to 350. My oven actually runs hot, so I'm actually going to preheat mine to 345 because I will burn mine if it's not if it's 350. And then y'all, here's a secret for you. I also put a pan on top of my oven because it tends to burn everything on the top and it's so annoying. So I discovered to do that. Yours may burn on the bottom, so put a pan on the bottom rack. It's just a little tip for you. Deflects the heat. So every oven is different. My oven runs hot. Yours may run, the conventional way. All right. Okay. I like to look at the length of the pan and kind of get it as much as I can. And then I'm going to thread it, pinch it together. I'm going to thread it again. Pull it back and forth so it'll be pretty on top. Then we will press it down with our fist again. Feels so good. I love the feel of fresh dough. And if you wanted to do this with flour that's already milled, you can do that as well. I encourage you though to get to mill it yourself because the nutrition is so much, it's incredible. Like the store is dead flour. Just look at it that way. This is living flour, which means this is just going to give you the vitamin E, the B vitamins, all the good stuff in there. So I just want to encourage you to fresh mill it at home. But if you can't, I also understand what you're doing is so great for yourself, your family, whoever, that you're just taking the time to do this. So good job on that, seriously. Okay, so I'm gonna set a timer for myself for 30 minutes so that I can come back and check the loaves with you guys. Okay, so mine took an hour and a half to rise. All right, and so I've got it at the top of the rim. So now what I'm gonna do is I am going to pop them in the oven, and you want it to be at 350, and you're gonna let it pop in there for 30 minutes. Okay, y'all, the timer beat. It is time to get it out of the oven. Oh, that looks so pretty. I can't wait for you to see it. Here is one. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my goodness. Y'all, it smells so good too. Your whole house is gonna smell amazing. All right, now what I love to do is I love to check the temperature of my bread. The inside of the temperature should be 190 minimum. So yep, done, that one's good. This one, bam, that's good. Okay, so here's what I like to do personally. I am gonna go ahead and get my butter, and I'm gonna go ahead and rub it on top. This gives it a softer crust, and it also just makes it look beautiful. But I really love the soft crust texture. And I mean, who doesn't love butter? Come on now. And then here is my secret, y'all. I am going to let this sit in my cast iron loaf pans for, I love how I'm not even on camera. I'm just walking around my kitchen. I'm sorry. Anyways, it's one of those days, whatever. I'm going to let this sit for 10 minutes in the cast iron pan. This will prevent it from cracking, because if I dump it out right now, you may get a crack. So I let it sit here for 10 minutes, and then I am going to show you what the next step is. It's been 10 minutes, and here's my secret trick. By the way, don't let it sit in those cast iron pans for more than 10 minutes because it'll get gummy on the bottom. Okay, so I lay out a tea towel right here. And then what I do is I like to plop it out. Oops, bam. It plops out really nicely if you oil them up really good. Okay, and then you want to lay them on its side, okay, so that it'll like not, you don't want it to squish. And so then what I am going to do is I'm going to wrap them up, and I am going to let them sit here for a full hour to let them cool, and then we are gonna cut open into them. Okay, I'll see you in an hour. Okay, it has been an hour. I've got my daughter, Penelope, say hi.
Hi.
I got my daughter, Penelope, here. Which one do you want to taste?
This one, this one.
Okay. All right, I will give that one to my friend.
It looks so
Okay.
good. I want to eat it.
Oh, wow. Do you see how easy that was to slice? Look at that.
Squish it.
All right, squish it.
Squishy, squishy.
Squishy, squishy.
That's fun.
Squishy, squishy. Squishy, squishy.
Squish,
Squish, squish, squish, squish.
That's fun.
Wow, that's really pretty.
Give me a big
You
fat
want? Is
slice.
that good? Penelope!
Yes.
I'm not doing it that big. That's,
Aww.
well, I got a big fat slice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow, hold on. Let me show everybody. That is beautiful. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. Okay.
Oh, Mama, this looks good.
All right.
Careful piece.
Okay, can I have a little piece too?
That is so good. Like, genuinely, that is amazing. That's delicious.
I can taste the butteriness from the Kamut.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but yeah.
And the light fluffy. And look at the color. Isn't that a pretty color?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. All right. Thank you guys. I hope you make this bread. You're going to absolutely love it.
Yes.
I'm so excited for you. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.